Welcome back to the Zero Check Podcast, episode 101. Gentlemen, it is a privilege to be here with you today. I just can't, there's nowhere I'd rather be than here with you.
It's a privilege for my character to be alive still. I like it.
That is nice.
I am very happy for you. As I said, I was afraid to roll those dice last time because I was so afraid I would fudge down. I did not want... I feel like Sirio has more to do. Not that I didn't feel that way about the Deuce and Krutala and Fort Trand, but it's always hard in these situations. But no, I'm happy. I went to bed after the recording of episode 100, and I looked at my wife and I was like, Sirio made it.
She's like, who? What?
Gentlemen, I have a agenda for 101 in front of me today. We are going to look at the zero check rule today. We have some questions that have come up about the rule that we need to talk through. We've got the kind of trifurcated tables, I guess you could call it. We've got the three separate tables. That's really the right way to say that.
No, I like trifurcated.
Trifurcated. We'll go with that.
Yeah. I think I made that word up just now. I don't think that's really
from now on.
I'm Googling it.
I have a trifurcated agenda right here with 3 items on it. We have the zero check rule discussion. And then item number 2, we got to do some loot. I actually do have an off agenda item that I think I'm going to announce as well. I have another idea for another house rule that I want to pitch to you guys sight unseen for the first time. And then, of course, we're going to resume our adventure here today. So, gentlemen, why don't we just get right into it?
Quick note. Trifurcated is a real word, and it means to divide or fork into 3 branches.
Well, there you have it.
Mike, that's amazing. We're a wordsmith.
You're just good at the SAT. You don't make up words. You're just smart. Educated.
I'm glad you see me that way. My entire job in real life is to look smarter than I really am. So our current zero check rule, or what we're calling the legacy zero check rule, what do we do with it? We use it to increase the result of attack rolls by 1 degree. I mean, that's really the long and short of it. So who uses the rule right now? Well, pretty much everybody but Chris, because Chris tends to roll against reflex difficulty class. Or rather, I roll reflex saves against his DC, I guess is the accurate way to say that. So we've long struggled with this. And here's what I messed with today. And this is what I want to pitch to you guys. Instead of a couple informal ways that we've been using the zero check, here's the 6 ways that you can use the zero check. This is a draft, okay? The first thing that you can use the zero check to do is to increase the result of a PC's attack roll by 1 degree. Notice, not necessarily your own attack roll. You could use it for an ally's as well. So that could mean, Chris, for example, could use it to increase Mitch's by 1 degree, right?
Who would get the zero condition for that, though?
The user.
The person who uses it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you could do it to Mitch's benefit, but Sirio would get the condition. Yeah. We could, I think we've always kind of had this option, but we've rarely used it. But you could also increase the result of a player character's skill check by 1 degree. So, for example, if someone's disarming a trap, you could zero check that either on your own behalf or on the behalf of the attempting PC. One thing that we've never used it for is to increase the result of a PC's saving throw roll by 1 degree. That's a nice one to use it for too. Now, so that's all well and good, but that doesn't really help Sirio out with save. So here are 3 new use conditions that we are toying with. You could also use it to decrease the result of an enemy's attack roll by 1 degree. So you can do it to my guy. Decrease the result of an enemy's skill check by 1 degree. Honestly, I don't think this one would get used except for maybe like an important shove into a pool of lava or something that, right? Sure. And then, of course, decrease the result of an enemy's saving throw by 1 degree, the fireball rule. So this seems to open it up a lot more, and in my view, would encourage it to be used perhaps once a session, which is kind of our goal. I'll open it up for discussion.
I don't think we should be able to raise somebody else's attack. I think that we just tell the person, hey, use a zero check. It doesn't really seem like how would that situation come up?
Every time you roll.
Well, right. I get that. But aside from hey, you should use a zero check. Like if I rolled the attack roll and then like passed out and was incapacitated in my chair, then like he wants to zero check.
Yeah, it just gives us more options on who the the misfortune falls upon.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's like, oh, we need this character to get that critical hit, but maybe he can't take the,
But maybe we don't want you having the broken weapon when he does the zero check condition.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that kind of that makes it.
So I like the idea, but because we should have had a dice roll, like maybe if we use it for somebody else, Mike gets to roll who's affected.
Oh,
it's random. It could be the person that helps. It could be anybody else. It's not pointless because it could still save that person from having the backlash.
I thought you were talking about who gets the zero check. I'm like, well, that doesn't do any good.
Right.
No, who gets the backlash is random.
You make it the random. Yeah.
Well, and let me also, I neglected to say this at the outset, and I should have. A key change that I'm advocating we make is that I would like the decision on whether to convert to a zero check to be made before the roll itself is rolled.
Oh, that does.
Well, then what's the point in having the zero check rule?
Right.
Well, because hey, I know I need to hit. I know this is huge. I might roll a crit anyway, but I need to ensure that I at least hit. So I'm gonna go ahead, activate the zero check, roll an attack roll. I get 1 degree higher than what I roll for real.
So if I roll that and I crit, what do I get?
Nothing.
I don't know. I guess you get nothing.
I just get the zero check.
Maybe it would nullify the zero check.
You could raise your crit fail to a fail. That'd be fun.
You could raise your crit fail to a fail.
That'd feel really good. Burn zero check for that.
Well, but I mean, Bill makes a good point. Maybe we need to have kind of a sub rule in there that if the zero check ends up having no bearing on the attack itself, maybe then it's just set aside.
I feel like that complicates it.
Yeah.
I'll do what everybody wants, but I mean, I just feel like you roll and then you're like, oh shit, I screwed that up. I'm going to zero check it.
Yeah, I like using it after the fact because it feels like you're changing fate. So rather than like using a hero point or having an advantage roll or anything like that, you can kind of change fate, tip it in your favor.
I like that perspective. Okay, all right, you've convinced me. Okay, so I'll get rid of that.
And maybe as a check for that, maybe to balance that out, I think we take away being able to downgrade an enemy's attack. I think that's too overpowered. Like I
think that's way overpowered.
Just the saving throw then.
Yeah, so I definitely think the saving throw for sure should be in there for
because that just balances out for the casters. Yep. Yeah. Maybe I remove the attack roll and the skill check.
Yes, we can't affect
for the enemies.
The attack roll. For the enemy, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think saving. I think we'll use it for saving. We'll use it for combat. We'll use it for saving throws, and we'll use it for our attack rolls. Honestly, I think that's the 2 times that it really, really matters.
Do you want the opportunity to burn it on a skill check?
Gosh, I think so.
We haven't used it until this point, but then there'll come a time,
right?
In episode 182.
I like it. I like having that option there. Like if it's a really important skill, like somebody like a thievery check to disarm a trap or something.
I think that seems like consensus to me. Are we at consensus right now?
So let's recap one more time. What are the conditions?
Okay, 4 use conditions, 4 scenarios. Following a roll, increase the result of a PC's attack roll by 1 degree. Increase the result of a PC skill check by 1 degree. Increase the result of a PC saving throw by 1 degree. Decrease the result of an enemy's saving throw by 1 degree.
Beautiful.
Love it.
I like it.
Okay.
Boom.
Post roll. Fine. Okay. And we are in the midst of working up these 0 condition lists that also include ones submitted by listeners, which I'm very excited about. Listeners, for those of you that are here, if you haven't submitted one, please feel free to do so. I'd love to call people out when we read conditions that are submitted by those of you that follow us. So
I'm going to call you out too.
Yeah, we want to know exactly who it is. And we're gonna.
Hey, fellas, let me take this opportunity to propose another interesting rule. Fellas, I want to test something. Okay.
Oh boy.
We have Brad in our podcast, and Brad has this history of rolling quite low. And if memory serves, he will go entire sessions not rolling over a 5 or a 6. We've all seen it. Or have we? Is it just our perception of him, or is this real? So here's what I'd like to do. I propose that at the beginning of a game, a player can declare that they are inverting their rolls for the night. And I don't mean it in the way that we've used it in the past. I mean, if you roll a 1, it's a 20. If you roll a 2, it's really a 19, and so on and so forth.
Oh my God.
And if you roll a 20, it's really a 1. So it's a straight inversion of your roll for the night.
That.
I will never use that because it won't work.
So you'll all of a sudden only be able to roll a 15 and up.
Yes.
Well, I just thought it'd be a fun experiment.
I appreciate it. And I've tried everything. I've tried wearing gloves when I roll, so I'm not touching.
You think it might be your skin?
It might be me, yeah. I've tried.
It's his body oil.
I've tried your inversion technique.
Yeah, that didn't work.
We've tried digital dice.
That didn't work.
Yeah. I think whatever we throw at the universe is going to puke it back up in my face.
I like Mike how created the Master Furious rule right there on the spot.
Yeah, the Furious rule.
You know what? I don't know. Leave it as an option. I'll try it, maybe.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Now, do you have to call that one before you roll?
You have to call it. You got to call it at the beginning of the game. Beginning of the session.
All right.
All D20 rolls inverted.
All right.
Ah, fellas.
Are we starting the session? Because I'll call it right now.
Are you declaring
inversion? I'm going to declare inversion.
Oh, okay. He declares inversion. I was like,
we'll see how it works.
I felt a little something just then when he did that.
Maybe you got a little inverted.
The universe laughing.
Tom Cruise was inverted.
He was inverted.
Okay. Gentlemen, I forgot to give you loot for both of these side quests. You have completed both Lindsay's and Ikendeo's side quests provided by the companion guide. I have without anything further, I present to you the treasure that Mitchell and Ogjulinus and Tompton procured in the Jagged Briar Hag Hole.
What we pick up in the hag hole? And does it burn?
Only when you pee.
I mean, is there anything with like fire magic attached to it? Of course, is what I meant.
Well, I don't know. I was reading I wasn't listening, Donnie. Sorry, I was reading the loot. The cauldron to the north of the Jagged Briar Hag Hole is a minor magical item. The 3-bulk cauldron can be commanded to create a perpetual fire under it, with smoke from the fire being drawn into the cauldron and then purified into air so that its contents can be kept simmering perpetually in an underground or enclosed environment. There is a foul-smelling broth within it, and it is a... sorry, I'm sorry.
So the anise hag hole doesn't smell pleasant. Is that
It's bad.
No. It's got a foul-smelling broth.
Okay.
It can
Like a rancid cream pie.
Okay. All right. Within the broth itself is comprised of constantly evolving and foul-tasting stew, specifically for the hags. Player character who samples the stuff must succeed a DC 23 Fortitude save or become sickened 1. The cauldron is worth 35 gold pieces.
I kind of want to sell it.
Sell that motherfucker.
I like the perpetual fire and the sucking in the smoke, but just having a constant foul-smelling broth is just, it's unsettling. And I wonder how the ogres outside viewed that. Like, was they using his recipe or like what's that about?
I think you can pour it out. And it's just it's an alchemy tool.
Okay, well, you can get rid of the broth. It's like the broth isn't.
The broth is
so you can make like a nice vegetable stew and just have it cooking.
So want to sell seasoned cauldron. That's what we'll title it.
Yeah, it's very highly seasoned.
It's like cast iron. You got to season it and break it in. It's all good though.
I mean, I guess it'd be good for an alchemical lab, or if someone has their backup tune being a witch or something.
Maybe Jubilost's what are we Dundee Sundries. Yeah. Maybe they need to open a little kitchenette and they've got a little
soup kitchen.
Little soup kitchen.
A little chunky stew.
Nice.
Well, so that's the first thing. There's more. There are some old books written in Abyssal. They look super spooky. Does anyone here speak Abyssal?
Dog?
I think so. Let me check. No.
Well, there are some books in Abyssal. Maybe you can find somebody to translate these for you. They look like spell books, and they look like they've been paged and thumbed through by the disgusting hags. over and over again. There's also components that they were working with that are worth 180 gold pieces. So I'll give you 180 gold pieces as well. That's the loot. Are you guys impressed?
I'm impressed.
All right. So about 200 gold worth of crap, maybe this cool cauldron and these books, which are written in a language that might contain spells. Who can know? Fine.
It's going to drive Og crazy that we found something that he can't read and he can't understand.
We're going to turn this into a side quest, finding it out. Like I would skip the owl, like going home.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, let's do that.
Here is the treasure that you got off of Hargulka and Gragglebeard. Okay. Gragglebeard, I assume there was probably a search of the bridge area and he had a nearby camp. And here's what you find. A sizable stash of treasure from recent raids are in a log shelter that he erected nearby. Amid nearly 100 pounds of broken armor and weapons that he appeared to be keeping as raw materials to craft new weapons for his reavers, Gragglebeard's stash contains 25 silver pieces, 12 gold pieces, a +1 falchion, a fear gem talisman, a mentalist's staff, and a spell guard shield. I'll leave you to determine what those are. Hargulka had some stuff on his person as well. Hargulka has his +1 Darkwood Thundering Morning Star, large.
He had it. It's behind him.
Pop the gems out of that thing and toss that stick.
So Thundering is a 8th level rune.
Ooh.
And a thundering weapon lets out a peal of thunder when it hits, dealing an extra d6 of sonic damage on a successful strike. On a critical hit, the target must succeed a DC 24 fortitude save or be deafened for 1 minute. I probably wasn't applying that if you ever... Well, I guess you never crit with the fucking thing.
He tossed it.
Yeah, that's right. He never used it
Both
in the
encounters.
first encounter. Yeah. So I thought maybe Amiri could use this. It could be resized, I would assume, with a crafting check, or of course, I mean, it's worth.
Can we just peel the?
Can we have the?
You have the runes. You just put the runes on their thing.
I mean,
peel the runes off.
The thundering rune is worth 500 gold pieces.
Yeah. We'll find a weapon for that.
Let's see here. Make sure there's nothing else he's got. Nope, that's it. And otherwise, he has his disgusting loincloth that he was wearing.
He doesn't have any coins on him?
No notes.
No.
He just steals everything.
Yeah. And really, I mean, Hargulka, he looked a fair bit thinner than when you saw him last. I mean, he's been kind of out roughing it. I mean, you took his loot from his.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did.
From his castle. So. Now, the other thing that you find, of course, on Gragglebeard is you find enough wyvern hide to craft wyvern armor. And I'm still kind of pissed about this, but what I spent, prior to episode, 99 or whatever it was, I was sitting around trying to figure out what on earth wyvern leather does, and the answer is nothing. So I don't know. Maybe we'll homebrew something cool that you can do with wyvern hide armor. But he wears wyvern hide stuff, and it seemed to be kind of a plot point with Gragglebeard, and then it just goes nowhere. But the other thing that I'll tell you is that he's got a small rookery of baby wyverns in his temporary log cabin that he made for himself. He appears to be raising them.
Can I have a wyvern?
I hope Heron's ready to take a new batch of found things that need to be raised.
Did I have trained pet?
So they like little whelps, or they're
like
young,
little baby whelps, little cute little things. Looks like they haven't been hatched for very long. They're maybe 3 to 4 days old.
I say we take them.
You might have to make like a Gragglebeard mask if they've imprinted on him, and like wear that when you're trying to train him.
Well, have I shown you the art of Gragglebeard? I don't think I have.
No,
check this guy out.
Is he a good looking dude?
Here's what he looks like here.
I mean, he's not a bad looking dude. He looks like Jason Momoa.
Kind of. A little bit of Magnum PI.
But you know what he's got? He wears a wyvern skull as his hat.
That's not very nice.
And so maybe, I don't know, you talk about the babies imprinting on him. I don't know if they did, but if they did, it'd be because he's wearing that hat.
I do have train animal, Mike. Can I have an attack wyvern?
I don't know. You've got baby ones though right now. We'll figure it out later.
Okay, we're gonna bring him back. You guys bring him back.
You've got 3 of them.
Three
of them.
We'll bring him back.
Donnie, name a wyvern.
Joey T.
Bill, name a wyvern.
Ruckus.
Brad, name a wyvern.
Bumbles.
There it is. There it is, Chris.
Joey
I'm
T,
sorry.
Ruckus and Bumbles.
There it is.
Joey T, Bumbles, and what was the other one?
Ruckus. So that's what you find. Let's do our quick recap here, gentlemen. By the way, I'm so proud, so happy Sirio made it. My wife is very happy too, Chris. We ended last episode with a bit of a cut scene. We cut back to Fort Trand to learn about what was happening back there while you guys were off on these side quests. Harim, Neela Trand, Tassam the Thaumaturge, Nugra, and an unnamed tiefling kineticist who you've never met before, met with and began fighting off a gargantuan owlbear that attacked Fort Trand and has leveled your town hall. Who knows what else this thing has done? And you're not sure how this timeline meshes. But as we get ourselves back into the game, what I think we're going to do for the sake of convenience is we're going to normalize the timelines between the two side quests. And we're going to just sort of wave our hands and say that a couple miles out from Fort Trand, the two parties, a little more worse for wear, converge in maybe a meeting place. And now all 10 of you guys, or however many you are all together. Okay. So you meet and maybe you all pile into the steam trolley. It probably wasn't hard for Dry Colmay to find the steam trolley. Maybe that's how it happened.
Hey, real quick, how rested are we?
I'd say that you probably were normally rested. You're not rushing to get back. You don't know that anything's wrong. You've been camping normally in the landscape.
Just wanted to make sure.
We're a couple miles out. We hear the scream, and then we see the other party.
We can see the destruction.
Okay.
See the smoke.
Well, you can smell. You can see the smoke a couple miles out. You hear the owlbear bellowing. Nature check from all y'all.
Did the inverted work in your favor?
Yep. Inverted, that's a 5.
Oh, no.
I see.
Nice, Fred.
So you got a nat 20 for a 31.
Ooh. Sirio, there's an owlbear currently attacking Fort Trand. You've never been more sure of it in your life.
So we just all converged, like if we met yet?
Yeah, you're all back together.
So I'm going to look at Mitch and be like, how fast does this thing go? We got to get back.
25 feet.
You can walk beside it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did we have horses by chance?
No. Yeah, you guys got horses, yeah.
I mean, if I go werewolf form, I can go 40, but I don't want to pop into town as a werewolf. That might,
awkward. What do you do?
Can we double time? Are there rules for double timing movement speed?
Yeah, you can hustle.
Yeah, let's hustle.
We'll
leave the trolley here because it can't go as fast as we can. And then,
I mean, if half of us are on horses, can't we just pick up the other half and take off?
We don't have horses, do we? Oh, wait, you guys have horses.
You guys have horses.
You go ahead.
Yeah, hustle. You strain yourself to move at double your travel speed. You can hustle only for a number of minutes equal to your con mod times 10.
So if your con mod is 0, you cannot hustle?
You cannot hustle. You are not in good shape.
I can do 20.
So Sirio's cardio game's not that great?
No, I've got a 2 on my mod, so I can go 20 minutes.
I go 20 minutes also.
I can go 20 minutes as well.
So you split the party and the horses gallop there, or do you stay together? I guess that's my question.
If we know it's a gargantuan owlbear, I think we want to show up in force.
Yeah, I don't think you want me and the king out there just YOLOing it.
Okay, so you guys move as fast as you can. Yes. You configure yourselves in such a manner to move as fast as you can. All right.
We all know it's an owlbear.
Yep.
Okay.
You arrive at Fort Trand. The attack has ended. There is an obvious path of destruction that has been hewn through your capital city by Beaky Senior, or whatever we're going to call this guy. Okay. He has leveled your town hall, and I need somebody to roll to see what has happened to Dundee Sundries.
All right.
How do we decide? Oh, Donnie's on it. All right. Donnie, I think that there is a 2 out of 6 chance that Dundee Sundries has been obliterated. I would like you to roll a d6, and on a 1 or a 2, the Sundries is gone.
It's a 2.
Sorry, Jules.
Sundries has been leveled. It can be rebuilt.
It's perfect time to rebrand as a soup kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah, just when it was beginning to franchise out.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Donnie, there's a 2 out of 6 chance that the housing has been destroyed.
Would you like me to check and see what's happened on that?
Yeah,
right,
I would. Back. Same rules.
It's a 4. We're good this time.
Okay, the housing has been spared.
Mitch is going to ask Jubilost if he had insurance.
Yes, I did. Purchased through Brevoy. Of course I would insure my asset. Of course. Yes, I'm sitting fine on this. My policy will cover this type of destruction. Was your town hall insured, sir?
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Did you buy insurance?
Hey, how much was that printing? How much was that printing press worth again?
Cortella kept the receipts, right?
Yeah. In the town hall.
All right. You get there, and a couple things have happened. First of all, the 5 defenders are alive and well. Harim and his 2 boys, or his boy and his girl.
Well, do they even have a scratch on them?
There's been some healing. You know, you get the story. I mean, Harim is he's the magister. He's the only, he was probably, in charge while you were gone, Harim tells you the truth. I mean, the account that he gives you matches the cutscene that we read, last time. Early that morning, the owlbear came upon Fort Trand, trampled the town hall, and he and other citizenry that were left engaged it in battle, and ultimately, after some more destruction, turned it away a couple of hours ago. Okay. Kind of matches up. The screams that you heard may not have come from Fort Trand. I mean, it may have, I don't know, maybe wherever it went, but it is not in your city right now. In a miracle, no citizens were killed in this attack. It seems as though the owlbear went for the town hall. The town hall was basically empty. I mean, it was Harim and like Gorza Bloodstone was there, right? He's kind of like a royal guard, and you learn that Gorza Bloodstone evacuated Dundee Sundries. There were some people who lived there, the proprietors, got them to safety before the owlbear ran into it during the fight. And Harim reports that Neela helped turn the owlbear back. Tassim helped turn it back. And he shares just with you guys that Nugra was there and is gone, melted back into the stone at the conclusion of the attack.
Where's the tiefling at?
Harim says, she's around here somewhere. Hang on, let's find her. You do find her. She's new in town, and her name is Kaliki. I've got a little art for you for this tiefling.
Did she show up with Nugra?
Was she riding Nugra?
Harim doesn't think so. Riding Nugra? No. She certainly didn't meld out of the stone with him, but that she just sort of appeared out of the masses, out of the crowd, and participated, and seems to be a competent adventurer, a competent hero. And that's her. She stands kind of meekly there, doesn't seem to want a ton of attention. Pleased to meet you. I'm Kaliki. I just thought I would help if I could.
Dry's going to look at her and he's going to be like, well, thank you for your help. And he's going to turn around. He's going to pat Harim on the shoulder and be like, you're a good egg. And he's going to walk off and start looking around the town, see if he can't find anybody who's injured, help the citizenry while the king sorts everything out.
Yeah. What's going on in Sirio's mind right now? What are his priorities?
Really, after hearing the report from Harim, just knowing that none of our, leadership died and then no one in the town died, that's really priority number 1, since it seems before we're kind of losing citizens quite rapidly. So this incident seems kind of minor. We can always rebuild. But the main thing is not necessarily tracking down the owlbear, but creating some kind of defensive wall or standing guard, so that the magister doesn't have to rally just normal citizens to defend the town.
Yeah, well, and it is interesting you bring that up. I mean, where was the guard, right? Why wasn't it? Why was Harim taken by surprise? And with further investigation, it just seems like there wasn't somebody watching at 4:30 in the morning. There was nobody awake and alert. Now, as the owlbear began rampaging through town, I mean, people became awake and alert, but citizens were kind of left to stay in their homes and fend for themselves. And by the way, if Donnie had rolled poorly on the housing roll, there might have been some deaths, but the owlbear wasn't attracted to the homes. So there was a bit of luck involved too. But yeah, I mean, Neela and Harim were probably in the most danger, but they made it out.
And as a player, I have a suspicion it may have been trying to get into the cage to free what was the captive owlbear, but I don't know if Sirio can put that together. Is there a roll or something I can do?
Yeah, why don't you make a nature check to see if you can discern motivation?
26.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would occur to you that, this gargantuan owlbear may have been attracted to, Beaky the owlbear that used to be held captive in the Stag Lord's fort. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys have remodeled and everything, but like maybe there was some funk left there.
Well, Beaky's cage is where we put the king.
Once you get owlbear stink, you never get that out.
Yeah,
clean. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the jail was built around Beaky's.
I think, I remember us saying that like that was we used his cage to put the king in for his first transition.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, very well could be.
So we wouldn't we would be sure that there wouldn't be like something wouldn't be sending this owlbear on its behalf, right? We think we're pretty sure that it was the connection between the one that was here, or would we have any reason to believe otherwise? To
answer your question, I candidly, I checked one thing just to make sure, but no, there's not a connection. You've not, to my knowledge, uncovered anything that could indicate that this was some kind of attack, like an attack by an enemy. This could be just a random
occurrence.
Occurrence, okay. Yeah. I do need to increase the kingdom's unrest and ruin levels. I know we're kind of esoteric right now on that, but we'll have to address this, from a societal standpoint here pretty soon. But I mean, for now, your citizens have expressed throughout this mid-morning a need for someone to go and hunt this beast down, because what if it returns,
Jiraiya's already got that in his head. Like he wants to leave right now while the track's hot.
Well, is this a situation where we need to go, or is this a situation where we can hire?
I feel like it's something we need to do.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't want to do it. I'm just curious if we wanted to. Is this a situation, because isn't there something in the Kingdom Turn where you can hire something?
Adventurers.
I mean, maybe it's a moot point because we're going to go after this thing. So
yeah. I think Mitch would look at the footprint of this thing probably left, then look at like one of Dry's arrows, and like do that mental math of like what the hell can we do to this thing, and remember the thrashing we all got from the first owlbear we encountered. I think Mitch went down, Sirio went down. Like these things are serious.
You guys spooned.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But a job's got to be done. So like he's going to be on board, but he's going to be very nervous about it.
And I think this incident just raises a bigger point of the town having some sort of perimeter defense.
Yeah.
Not only that, if this thing is that big, I think we'd need 25, 30 people to take it down.
Yep.
Essentially a small little army.
Agree.
Really, you need like a company of people to deal with this.
Yeah.
And so that leads into, raising some sort of army.
Well, I will tell you this, don't let me overhype the gargantuan owlbear. Harim and his defenders were able to injure it. They were able to injure it.
Okay.
And they turned it back, the five of them, and got rid of it.
Okay. So, did Harim notice anything that scared it away more? Like, was it afraid of any fire spells that you guys were doing? Was it?
Here's what Harim will say. Harim goes, I just made a check on his behalf, a retroactive check. Harim says that the owlbear possessed a rage that was unnatural and not indicative of a wild animal.
Oh.
And not even of a predator, but of an entity seeking vengeance and justice. This owlbear has a motivation that is unlike anything he's seen from a wild animal, and that this thing is extremely dangerous and relentless and seemed to be in mourning. Oh. It was mourning something.
Did the owlbear that the Staglord had, did we kill it? Is it still around?
Oh, yeah.
We killed it.
Beaky was killed.
Yeah, so we killed its baby or whatever.
His head is mounted in the...
well, let's take its head and let's see if that... Like maybe she just wants closure and she'll take the head and it'll be good.
Is the head still here?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's mounted. Well, it was mounted in the town hall, I think.
Yeah.
You know, the town hall was destroyed.
Yep.
If you were to sift through the rubble,
The head's gone.
the head is still there.
Oh.
I picture it like being covered in owl shit too, because that's where Hoot probably perches.
Oh, Hoot's fine, by the way.
Okay, that's good.
Of course she is.
So we going after this thing? What are we doing?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's get
All right.
geared up
Fucking
and
go.
go.
I guess we rest. We prep.
Reprovision, we rest.
Og would tell. I assume Jubilos is Jubilos coming with us? Probably not. So
No,
Og will,
God, no.
Og will give the books to Jubilos and tell him to study these and try to make
Jubilos.
sense of them while you're
Yeah,
gone.
you got it. You got it, buddy.
This thing probably leaves a pretty decent trail, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be hard to track.
Yeah. Which is it going
It's gonna be hard
like
to
towards
track.
anything we need to be worried about? Like, is it going towards the snickerdoodles or is it going towards?
It's heading east by southeast.
Okay, good.
Not necessarily
Not a
far
ton there.
from your pathway back into town.
Okay. Oh,
I guess we can't stock up either because the sundries is gone.
fuck.
That's right.
Cosmo, the current proprietor of the Sundries, is just like, yeah, take what you need. And then he's like filling out his insurance claim with Jubilost right now. And
Adding a couple items that they didn't have.
yeah. They're like, the gnomes are doing business. Sirio's attitude is not unreasonable. I mean, this could have been way worse.
Yeah.
I mean, you can rebuild and you certainly will. Yeah, it's sort of like everything's kind of weird and disarray right now, but the citizens seem to, I mean, they're watching you guys getting ready to go, and that's good.
This
They
is like
that.
I think if a tornado hit our town and
Yes,
City Hall was the hit on a Saturday where no one was there, everybody like, well, that sucks, but that could have been way worse, right? I mean,
Right. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. So the four of you guys set out.
Only four. There's only four of us. There's no extra NPCs. There's no.
You want an NPC?
I'm just asking the guys.
they're all bad.
All right, let's go. Fuck it. Just us four.
I'd like to play Nugra again if I could.
Would
Oh
you?
yeah, that's one thing I want to ask Harem or any of the other
Why didn't they kill Nugra when he was
survivors. Like exactly what did Nugra do? Did he say anything, or did he just pop out of the stone, fight off the owlbear, and pop back in the stone?
So here's what Harem says. He goes, I've never met him up until that moment. Honestly, didn't know who he was. I've read the reports and I understand the role he played during the battle of this very land. You have to remember, this is where you fought him, right? It's right on this area.
Same rocks that he was traveling through. Is he still in the rocks?
Same rocks. But when he saw me, it's as if he knew me. And I don't know him. He asked me about my children.
I don't like that.
Of course, once the owlbear was turned away, he descended back into the rock and was gone.
We should put up some wanted posters.
Yeah. If you see this guy in the rocks,
This
Let
old
us
dude
know.
in tidy whities wandering around in the rocks.
Yeah, I let Harem know that that's good info, but not to spread that around. We don't need
Yep.
rumors of people popping out of the stone.
Well, what you need to understand is that 4 other people saw it, but I don't think they... Well,
Where's
actually,
Jubilost? Let's get these NDAs written. Come on.
I will handle that, sir. Ms. Trand and Kaliki and Tassim's over there smoking something. Why do you need a spoon? Come back this way. Let's all talk about it. I need to get your statements. They get it figured out.
And really, this Kaliki character for Sirio doesn't really raise any concerns. People are moving in all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He doesn't really want to question her. I don't know if anyone else does.
I
Have you
do.
had any census efforts or anything? Because I mean,
Nah, just every 10 years.
oh, sure. It's been just a few months. No, she's got a place that she lives. She doesn't appear to have any money. She's just like many people that you've picked up along the way. There are many people looking for fresh starts. And what you know about her is that there's not a lot of history that she has, but that, she might very well be one of these people that's just looking for a new place.
Mitch will say, we'll thank her for the efforts she did to defend the town, and we've got to go and solve this problem. But Harim will point you in the right direction if you want to keep helping.
I understand. Okay. Thank you.
Gives him knuckles, holds his hand out, see if she does knuckles or high five. Or she do the weird thing where she grabs my wrist. Or my,
she does the squirrel.
The squirrel.
She seems kind of withdrawn and guarded. And as you offer this gesture of respect, she'll reciprocate, but it takes her a moment.
She's
and
all
her
right.
horns are out in the open. She's not hooded or anything.
No.
Okay.
She doesn't hide her post remaster. I guess she's a Nephilim, I think is what this is. She's got some demonic blood and just like the Azamar, they're kind of the same heritage, just two different variants of it. Instead of angelic, she's sort of diabolic or whatever it is.
Okay, let's get geared up and let's
Get
go
after it.
on an owlbear hunt.
All right. Og Julianus and Tompton. Mitchell Lucius Groning. Dry the man Colmay. And King Sirio Xavier Sertova into the trolley? What are we doing here? Are we getting in? Is it just like old times?
I think we should mount up.
Yeah.
Since it's just the four of us, we're not bringing a party or hauling loot or anything.
Let's go talk to Phil Flipperson and get some horses, get some fresh horses.
Phil Flipperson. Oh, hey guys.
God, can we not talk to you? We just take the horses.
My horses they're all gone. The owlbear over yonder destroyed the gate and they all got out. If you'd like to do a mini quest to take them back.
Phil, come on. I know you got fresh horses somewhere. Stop bullshitting me.
Yeah, Phil, we ain't got time for this.
You guys are such pieces of shit. I hate it here.
Phil, I will kick you out on your ass. Fucking with your horses.
Oh, all right. Come with me to my barn. Hey, don't tell no one. I got some steer. I've got some steeds.
Don't you rent and sell horses? Why would you not want us to tell anyone?
Yeah, what's wrong, Phil?
That's a terrible business
He's
model.
got exclusive rights in the town. Like he's the only one.
I forgot. Yeah, I'm underreporting my income.
You crotchety old bastard.
I'm just saying I think you need to rethink your plan. I get where you're trying to go, but I think you're going about it the wrong way. But could you show us the horses?
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were the minister of unsolicited advice.
Well, he does work for the government.
It's right.
That's a new role. That's a new government role right there.
That's Og's title, the minister of unsolicited advice. Yeah, he gives you some horses, and you rode in on horses too,
But
so it doesn't matter.
They're all lathered up, and we need.
But I feel nice. I feel nice that Phil Flipperson got to cameo in episode 101.
So at this point, Og is going to take Phil point by point through this horse and point out all of the flaws and all the things that he's doing wrong as an owner of the horse, because he really wants to live up and he wants to give as much unsolicited advice as possible.
Yeah.
So we do. Yeah. So about 75 minutes later, we're ready to go.
Sure. All right. I'll note that in the timeline for you guys. Gentlemen, it is a few days journey. I assume you're going fast. We don't need to, and really, we don't really care about the phases of the moon anymore anyway. Guys, as you're going along and as you're following in the destruction of this owlbear, you quickly realize that the owlbear is headed toward a location on the map that you know of. Ooh. You might recall that you obtained Hargulka's map at the conclusion of the troll dungeon, and he had a red X on that map that said danger. And it looks as though the owlbear is headed back into the Selin Hills.
Let's go
to that red X.
Let's go.
Just to recap, the big scary troll that basically thought he was invincible and would live forever was like, don't go here.
Don't go there.
Don't fuck.
Yeah, we need to go there. Let's do it.
The owlbear has headed into a cave. And as the day grows long, at about 4 p.m. on, I don't know, your second maybe day of travel, we'll estimate, it doesn't matter too much. You stand before the mouth of a cave. The cave mouth is large enough for this owlbear to be inside. And you stand before it, the four of you guys and a pig. What on earth do you do?
Pitch every one of our alchemist fire into that cave. Just unload them.
I'm kind of thinking we should have brought Ekandeo to kind of send him in first. Test the waters, be our canary. And I guess while we were traveling, if we had enough time to re-rune, because that thundering rune, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Slap that on someone's weapon.
I suppose Mitch could have pulled that off.
Yeah. Who wants it on there?
Mitch.
I've got runes on my swords already.
I'll take it. You can put on with the dueling swords.
Okay. You throw that on there in your path builder.
I mean, can't it go on a bow? Doesn't it just imbue the arrows with the thunder?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Put it on the bow. Thundering. But you already have the fearsome rune on that bow.
Yeah, I do have fearsome on it.
Well, Donnie, you've been throwing crossbow bolts out. You want that on the crossbow?
But Bill, do you want it on your sword?
Can we have it on both? It's just one. You can put it on yours, Donnie.
Oh, we can get a second one at some point, right? And transfer a rune.
I say we throw that on Donnie's for.
Yeah, throw it on yours.
You want it on the crossbow?
Yeah, because you'll use your crossbow faster than I'll use my sword.
Plus one striking thundering crossbow. My God. What do you got to name that crossbow?
I was just thinking that. I'm going to have to name it.
Name it Hargulka.
No.
Oh, I thought that was.
This is why we don't let you name things, Mike.
Yeah, sure. From the party that brought us Cree Tower. Yeah, all right.
That's a good name.
That is a
Pretty
good
awesome.
name.
Could I have the Thundering Grater while we're doing this?
Sure.
It's 6,500 gold pieces.
If you name it Hargulka, you can have it greater.
I'll name it Hargulka if I can have that one.
Okay. All right. We got to get on task, gentlemen. I would hang out with you all the time, and you stand before the mouth of this cave. What I need to understand are your exploration activities.
Sirio is detecting magic.
Fuck yeah, he is.
All right, I'll note that for you. It will matter. Okay, we got one magic detector. Dry.
Scouting.
Scouting, yes. For our listeners, we've recently learned about the scouting exploration activity, which confers a +1 initiative check bonus on everybody else in the party. All right. Og.
Yeah, I think Og is going to seek or search, rather. So looking for traps, doors, all that kind of thing.
Mitchell.
Yeah, seeking or searching. I don't really know what else he would be doing.
All right. Now, Brad, I'm trying to decide what to do with this right now because I just rolled a seeking check on your behalf and I rolled a natural 20, but does that mean it's a natural 1 because you're inverted tonight?
No, it's my rules, not your rules.
Okay. All right. I got a natural 15, so I think it is sufficient. So you're looking at the mouth of this cave. You guys are approaching it. You see owlbear tracks going inside. They're huge. And you notice a suspicious looking mushroom.
So I'm eating it. I'm just kidding. Is anybody an herbalist? An herbalist?
I could do a lore check on mushroom.
You like that mushroom?
I love that mushroom so much.
Yeah.
Can we
It's
take
a mushroom?
It's pink and purple.
We adopted the little whelps earlier. Now we're going to adopt this mushroom because it's so cute too. Is there any check we could roll on this mushroom to determine what it might be?
Yeah. I think you know.
It's a natural 18 plus whatever. It's going to be high if you let me do lore master.
This is a shrieker. It is a hazard.
Oh.
It is a human-sized purple mushroom.
That's
big. That if you know that it emits a piercing shriek when disturbed. You know that if any of you walk within 10 feet of it, it will emit a deafening screech. It'll deal sonic damage. You know that this thing can be disabled with the survival check.
Can we just jump on it like Mario Brothers?
I would love it if you would do that.
So Og shares that with the group and then kind of survival dry. That kind of sounds like you.
I mean, it's not my best stat, but it's there. I got a +8.
Oh, that's the same as me. I
it's
thought you were
only
right
8.
in that.
I've got survival +8 as well.
Yeah,
but you don't
+8.
roll.
Well,
I'm not trained though, so
can we aid?
I am trained.
One person can aid.
I will aid somebody.
Will you?
Yeah. Well, let me see if I'll aid somebody.
All right. So who's going to react to Dry's attempt to do this survival check?
I just aided.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, well, I got it's a 4 on the dice, so it's a 16?
Yeah. Oh, hey.
What's up, Brad?
Hey, all right, Brad. Look at that.
So
Am I
16
rolling? Am I
plus-
doing this?
You're doing the survival check, man.
12
Uh-oh.
total.
12 total.
Yep.
14 with aid, right?
He's gonna
no.
fucking squawk at me.
Shit.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah.
You blew this?
Do we?
Yeah, I
Is this
blew
is
it.
this a critical? Can we zero check this to
Get zero
make it a?
Really?
Oh, no. It's a fail.
Yeah, it's a
Do you
fail.
want to make it a success?
Are we gonna zero check? We're not even in a combat yet.
Well,
This is going to start. I'm sure the screech will.
I don't know if we want to put the 0 condition on somebody right now. I don't want to go into this owlbear fight with somebody with a 0 check on them. There's 0 condition.
we said we might want it for a skill check.
All right, let's do it. Fuck it. Bill, zero check it, or I'll 0 check it for you if that's an option.
I just don't want the fucking zero check condition.
Did we say that we could put it on ourselves and like do the skill check for somebody else?
We never
Sorry,
forgot
Bill.
to discuss that.
It's either you take the 0 condition or you give away our position.
It's okay to fail.
Hope you
It's
guys
okay
are ready to fight.
It's a safe space to fail. I mean, we're gonna get a fight either way. This is just gonna burn some resources before we get into it. Just gonna do it on hard mode, baby.
Don't use
It's
it.
all right.
Don't use it.
I'm not doing it.
No,
We need
don't.
it. We
Yeah.
need it.
Fuck yeah.
I like that, Donnie. Hard mode. Fuck yeah. Somebody click that red button. Let's fucking go. Where's Mimron's helmet at?
Dry Colmay approaches the mushroom. Okay. And Bill, take us through. What happens is you unsuccessfully try to cut the mushroom's air sac without triggering the shrieker.
So Dry gets up there and he's real stealthy and he's trying to cut the sack off. And then he realizes as he goes to cut the sack that he has Sirio's silver blade in his hand and it's backwards. And he just tears the sack off without actually cutting it.
Oh, I see. I see. Like backwards as in the blunt side of the blade.
Yeah, the blunt side.
Okay. The shrieker shrieks, and I can't make that sound that it makes. It is so loud. I need everybody to make, please, a fortitude save.
Oh, even if they're more than 10 feet away?
Mm-hmm. Brad, how'd you do?
24.
Is that your inverted?
Yep.
Total?
I put an 8 on the
Nice.
die.
Oh, man, you're loving this rule. That's a pass. That's a pass. Serial?
Nat 20 for a 32.
Oh, you don't care. You don't care at all, Og.
It's a natural 1.
Oh,
try
okay. Okay.
And, you said it was Fort, right? So that's a total of 11.
Oh, dear.
Yes.
Dry?
That's a natural 1 for a total of 13.
Oh my gosh. 2 crit failures, a crit success, and a pass. I'm going to roll the damage.
Damage.
Yeah, sonic damage. On a D6, I rolled a 1. So, Sirio takes 0. I think I don't know, 1 damage divided by 2. I think it's still a minimum of 1. I guess I can't really do anything for Mitch on the pass. Mitch, you take 1. And our 2 crit failures will take 2 sonic damage. Okay.
See, that wasn't that bad, guys.
Good call on that no zero check.
I want to mark the date and the time that Chris uttered good call on not taking that 0 check, because things begin to move very quickly when the shrieker shrieks. First thing that happens, I'm going to reveal some fog of war on this. There's a chamber that you guys are quickly going to become acquainted with. The shrieker begins shrieking, and it becomes quickly apparent to you that in reaction to shrieker number 1 shrieking, shrieker number 2 further back in the chamber begins shrieking. Okay. Not only that, but there are these moving fungus things all around. They kind of look like these kind of triangular shaped, medium-sized creature fungus. They kind of almost look like triangular sea cucumbers, but they're not underwater. They've got these purple tentacles everywhere. They begin shuffling toward you, and then a third shriek is heard. Okay, shriek number 1 coming from mushroom number 1. Shriek number 2 coming from mushroom number 2. Shriek number 3 sounds a lot like a gargantuan owlbear. I'll see you guys in episode 102.
What?
Oh, no, you won't. Oh, no, please don't stop. I want to keep playing.